Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nuri. In my previous video, I teased you guys that my Ganyu came home, and today here she is in all her glory. My Ganyu is already at level 90. She has 16,985 HP. Her attack is at 2,271. The weapon that I have on her is the Hamayumi bow, so it increases normal attack damage by 16% and charge attack damage by 12%, which is pretty good. And this effect is increased by 100% when her burst is fully charged. Her artifacts, I have her on the 4-piece Wanderer's Troop. This is the best pieces that I have on her for now. I do know that 4-piece Blizzard Strayer is pretty good for her as well, but I think I prefer this set a little bit more. Here are the stats. Some pretty good numbers there. Not the absolute best, but obviously this is the best that I'm working with for now. Constellation 0. Her talents is at 966, so I'm mostly focusing on her normal attack. I will eventually level these up at one point, but that's not the priority for now. For her attributes, her crit rate is 45.4% and her crit damage is 156.8%. So there's a room for improvement here, but that's the best that I can work with for now. Some energy recharge 138.2 and her crit damage bonus at 46.6%. Her current team that I really like, since I have the Hamayumi bow, so it is better for melting. So my team is Ganyu, Zhongli, Bennett, and Zhongling for Pyro Resonance, Zhongli for Shield to protect Ganyu. In today's video, I want to kind of compare the damage between the Prototype Crescent and the Hamayumi bow, which are the two very strong weapons for Ganyu, at least for 4-star. Her best in slot is obviously the Amos bow, but I don't have the Amos bow, so I am happy with Hamayumi. For the sake of the video, I don't want to make it too long, so what I'm going to do is just swap out the weapons. The team build and the artifacts will stay the same throughout. Here is the Prototype Crescent. Its base attack is a lot higher than the Hamayumi, but the attack percent is a lot lower, so there's a little bit of a balance there. With the Prototype Crescent, when you hit the enemy's soft spot or weak points, her movement speed will increase by 10% and her attack will be increased by 36% for 10 seconds. So that's a really high increase, but this is why the weapon is good for freeze Ganyu, because when enemies is frozen in place, you can continuously hit that weak points of the enemy and continuously get this passive going. So in order to test the damage for these two weapons, I've asked my good friend Masanori here to help me be my test buddy. By the way, I'm not eating any potion. I was at Dragon Spine, so I had some goulash, but this was hours ago because I played it earlier and then I came back on just to record this video and it was still here, so I don't know what's going on. Otherwise, it's not potion, it's not food or anything, it's just goulash because I was at Dragon Spine and to keep myself from freezing. This is how I'm going to compare between the two weapons. I'm going to do solo Ganyu and then Ganyu in the team, but the team is just there for the Pyro Resonance, and finally Ganyu and the whole team working together. So those are like the comparisons that I want to do between the two weapons. Okay, this is Ganyu solo. This is the Hamayumi bow. Okay, not crit. Okay, there we go. Hamayumi weapon. 11.7k and 19k second. So how much is that? About 30k per charge shot for Hamayumi solo. Okay, not bad. About 30k charge shot with her burst fully up from the Hamayumi weapon. Okay, Ganyu's Prototype Crescent, her attack is at 2,291. It's a little bit higher. So now let's try to get the critical point here. Okay, I hit his head. Nope. Let's try to hit his weak point. Okay, does that count? Yep, there we go. So once you hit the enemy's weak point, her attack is increased to 2,595, which is pretty good. Okay, now let's see. Okay, about 31k. Okay, so before we hit the critical point, it's only 27k. Prototype Crescent Ganyu did about 27k charge shots before you hit the enemy's weak point, and once you did get that critical hit from the enemy, then your attack is increased to about 31k, which is just a little bit higher than Hamayumi. Alright, now this is Ganyu with the Pyro Resonance team, Zhongli, Bennett, and Zhongling. Her attack is increased to 2,468 with the Hamayumi bow. So I'm not gonna use anyone on the team yet. I'm just trying to see how much she will do. Okay, so she does about 33 to 34k per charge shot now. Okay, this is without the help of the team, just the pyro resonance. Okay, she's doing about 33 to 34k. Okay, now this is the prototype Crescent Ganyu with the pyro resonance 2502, which is a little higher than the Hamayumi bow. Crit here. Okay. Oh no, don't forget. Okay. So after you hit Masanori's weak point or the enemy's weak point, her attacks increase to 2806. Okay, she was doing about 30k. How much was that? She's doing about, I think about 34k as well. Okay, so Pyro Resonance Ganyu did about 30k per charge shot, and then once you hit the crit point or the weak point of the enemy, she did about 34 to 35k damage. So it's about 1k difference between the Hamayumi, although you do have to hit the enemy's weak point, and some enemies don't have weak points, but when you do hit the weak point, it does increase a little bit better than the Hamayumi. Okay, now this is Hamayumi Ganyu with the whole team helping her out. Okay, so that's the normal rotation of the go. Melt. Okay, did not crit. Just gonna wait for the crit. Oh, okay. So about... Oh, okay. So about 39k, I would say. Almost 40k with the melt damage. Did not crit. Whoa. Okay. I can't count that off the top of my head. Okay, so with Hamayumi Melt Ganyu, she did about 62k per charge shot, so I do have to apply Pyro to Masanori and hit him with Ganyu's charge shot just right after to get that 62k damage per charge shot. So that's pretty high. Okay, now we're gonna test with prototype Crescent Ganyu. I'm just gonna get some shield here, and I'm gonna try to hit the crit point first. Okay, get that distraction up. Hit his head. Now I should, yep, get that increase. I'm gonna apply Pyro now. Okay. Ah, he was too close. Okay. Okay, got the passive from the bow. Oh, 10k. Okay. Apply Pyro. Where's the Pyro? Ooh! Okay, that's one. Finally a crit. Okay. Finally, after 3 attempts, now I got the crit. Okay, that was pretty cool. After we get the prototype Crescent's passive, she did about 65k per charge shot melt damage. So it's again a little bit higher than the Hamayumi bow, but with the prototype Crescent it requires a little bit work, but there's a little bit of a damage difference there. So again, prototype is great for freeze, but not so much melt, whereas Hamayumi I think is best for melt. Okay, the final little test that we're gonna do is with Benny's burst. Let's see, this is the Hamayumi bow. She has 2870 increase now. Come on. Oh, I didn't crit the second one. Okay. After several attempts of trying to get a crit hit while being in Benny's burst, I finally got it. So Ganyu was able to do 39k per charge shot with Benny's burst. So her attack was increased to 2807, I believe. That's with the Hamayumi bow. So let's try with the prototype Crescent now. Weak point again. That was not his weak point. Okay. Alright. Got the prototype passive down. Oh. 3207. Nice. Why didn't I crit this burst? Okay. Please, this time. Oh, this is so hard to do. Please. Nice. Finally, I'm able to get the crit there. Again, this took several attempts to get the crit hits that I wanted to see. But we did manage to get 65k within Benny's burst, so it's a little bit higher than the Hamayumi as usual. So with the same set, with the same team, pretty much the same, almost the same damage output from both bows. With the prototype Crescent, obviously you do have to work a little bit harder in order to get those numbers, but it is a little bit higher than the Hamayumi. The Hamayumi is pretty consistent, though the numbers that I do share with you guys here is only just one-time crits. It could change throughout when you continue to fight the enemies. It could get higher. That depends on the situation and on how you rotate your teammates. Obviously, both bows have their own advantages and disadvantages. I personally will stick with the Hamayumi purely because I don't have to think too much about trying to get the crit numbers or the high numbers. I only want to do consistent good damage. Sacrificing a little bit of damage with the Hamayumi bow is a little bit more worth it for me. Hi there, Editor Nuri here. As I was editing this video, I noticed that I tested the non-passive for the prototype Crescent, but I didn't test the non-passive for the Hamayumi, so I thought that was a little bit unfair. So I redid the testing outside of the recording. I recorded the video last week, so I did the retest earlier this week, and as you can see on the screen here, these are the numbers that I managed to capture. I retested them just to make sure that these are pretty consistent, and I know there are some numbers that jump quite high, but that's because it was pretty much the minimum and the possible maximum. But if you can see at the Ganyu Benny buff under the Hamayumi, during the non-passive plus melt, I did manage to hit 89k once. I tried to recreate that number, but I could not for the life of me get that same number back. I'm not sure what exactly I did, but it kind of shows that different situations, different kind of conditions can help give those big numbers just at the right time. So I think it was just like a one-time thing or very low percentage of time that it will happen. Otherwise, the numbers on the screen are the numbers that do keep popping up as I retest both weapons. And there are some recordings that I did here and there that I can show you here, but the damage output is pretty much similar to what I already have on the video, so that's why I didn't feel the need to re-record the video with these new numbers. A big thank you to Masanori for allowing me to do my damage test on him. He's been such a star. He's been pretty consistent with helping me, and it's easy for me to see the damage that my Ganyu could do when I'm fighting him compared to fighting other sort of enemies. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more videos from me. I hope this video was a little bit helpful for someone who's conflicted between the Hamayumi and Prototype Crescent for Ganyu. So this is my own personal opinion and my own personal thoughts. And I do like Ganyu as she is, and I think that she's doing really good. So thank you so much for watching. Please take care, stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Oh dang. Okay, let me heal up.